the shinola on that one. All right. Now, I would like to address this arts funding issue. Now, this all reminds me of a humorous story of the traveling salesman. Let's say that the taxpayer is a farmer and the government is a salesman. Well, the farmer says you can spend the night in my barn, but do me a favor, don't stick your willy into any of the 3 holes in the wall. Well, in this case, the salesman's willy represents the taxpayer's money, you understand. Well, the government, like the salesman, can't help himself. Sticks his willy in the first hole, it feels good. Sticks his willy in the second hole, it feels even better. Sticks his willy in the third hole, and it hurts like hell, and it won't let go. Well, in the morning, the farmer comes out, and he explains. Behind the first hole was my wife. Behind the second hole was my daughter. And behind the third hole was a milking machine that don't let go till it gets 50 gallons. Gentlemen, I propose that this arts funding is like a milking machine, and unless we shut it down, it's going to rip our dicks right off.
Tonight's show is brought to you by the new U.S. government, improving the arts by severely limiting them.
Look, this is just an informal chat. We were wondering what you were working on in your lab.
Well, I've invented a pill that gives worms to ex-girlfriends.
Right, and what's positive about that?
Well, it's a pill that gives worms to ex-girlfriends.
Well, could it also give worms to ex-boyfriends?
This is a drug for the world to give worms to ex-girlfriends.
Well, great. Thanks for stopping by.
You just don't get it here.
This used to be me. Old before my years, ignored by women, passed over for promotions. But now, all that has changed. Hi, I'm Cy Swerdlow, and I invented the patented process known as hair looming. If you suffer from premature hair loss, let our team of technicians visit you in the privacy of your home so there will be no embarrassment. You choose from our selection of over 200 colors and styles. Then your head will be carpeted with 100% pure acrylic fiber, completely natural looking. You can sleep in it, you can shower in it. It changed my life, and it'll change yours. Call toll-free 1-800-GET-HAIR.
Hey, turkeys! Gobble, gobble!
I'm married to a woman.
These are all my regulars. You strike me as a angry top. I'm clean, but you do have to glove up unless you're down for some frottage.
Frottage?
It's French for rubbing our dicks together.
Look, I like cream pies as much as the next guy.
Oh, don't say it out loud.
Oh, okay. Let me make a cream pie for you, okay? Then you can try it. See what you think.
I do not want to taste your cream pie.
They taste great. I can guarantee it.
You've tasted yours?
Of course I have. Haven't you?
No!
I've tasted mine. I didn't like it. I've tasted mine, yeah. I liked mine.
For shame, Doc. Hunting rabbits with an elephant gun.
Elephant gun?
That's right, Doc. So why don't you go shoot yourself an elephant? You do, and I'll give you such a pinch!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fantastic Comics Presents. Let's see, episode number 99. We have one to go before our 100th episode, which we will get to before the end of the year next Tuesday. All right, looking forward to that. Hello, everyone. Fantastic Comics is a comic book show on YouTube, like so many others out there. But this one's a little bit different. It is a comic book show from a store owners. That's me, you all right here, owner of Fantastic Comics in Berkeley, California. Every Wednesday through Sunday, we're open except for this Saturday. There's a little thing that some people call Christmas coming up. And I ain't working that day. I've got some plans, and I'm sure so many of you also do. In fact, I know that's probably why there's less people in the chat than normal. Unless it builds and you have nothing to do because you're on vacation and you're like, I want to watch a comic book show from a store owner's point of view. And then you hit the right show. This is the one. I don't have a guest today, but I'm going to be face on. I shaved. I'm pretty happy about that. And I think I can handle a whole day by myself on the screen, looking at myself. You know, the funny thing is, since I'm not going to have a guest, I really don't need these headphones on, but it's a shield. It's a layer of protection that even if the camera is not on, it is a little strange not having them on. So I keep them on, and that's what it's all about. How y'all doing? We'll talk to the chat in a second. Let's say, how are you doing? This is a show I started a few years ago with my buddy ATN, who's sometimes in chat, but like everybody else, they seem to be out of town. He's out of town from New Mexico. I have customers that are out of town, and some go to Texas, some are going to Southern California, some are going to Massachusetts, going back home, wherever that may be. Even though I'm kind of an out of the way store, I have a lot of people that are not fully local to us, and I still get visited, so that's wonderful. Love all of you. Thank you for coming into the store, and I would love to get more customers into the store, and this is one of the ways I try to do it. It's easy. It's at home now. I don't have to stay at the store late like I used to. Anyway, that guy ATN, we used to do videos, and then we did the live shows, and then he helped me get this going, and then I've had other guests that are recurring, and then more recently I've been doing these a little bit solo, which is sometimes scary because you don't know if you have enough time to fill, and you don't know who you'll be talking to on chat. So I don't know, it's easy now to just jabber. I've got a lot of things to talk about. On the bottom of the screen you can see our hours of operation and some. I should change this so it's better. All right, I'm gonna change it now though, the scroll, so that you can see what we're gonna be talking about. Oh, so many things. I don't know if I can get this in time. Have you heard? Look at what's going on. Have you heard about any of these things? I know I haven't really been. Almost all of it happened yesterday or today. So this is going to be, one of the, unless you've heard about it already or aren't tired of hearing about it, you're going to hear about it a little bit more. Or for the first time, I'm going to be your news source. Anyway, let's say hi to everybody that are in chat now. And obviously, to all the people after the fact that are listening to this, thank you for hanging out and listening to us. And maybe you get some good ideas for some comics that you might want to get tomorrow.
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
Hello.
What's up?
What's up, everybody? Early in from the other point. Oh my God, it's just this. Say hi in chat if you're here. I know I'm not logged into this account, so there's at least one person I don't know that is here that maybe more. Who knows? Jill, she was here. Thank you from the other room. Also, it's raining here, just to let everybody know, in Northern California, Bay Area. Hepzibah, Evort. I don't know what that means, but I'm not typing it in. There you go. I thought it was going to be it was more like Hepzibah, not Hepzibah, which was the X-Men, the Starjammers. Well, she was the lady that was involved with Cyclops' father. Gizmo says hi. Oh, that's wonderful. You know what? For those of you that don't know who Gizmo is, he will not be in tomorrow if it's raining. I can't do it. I just can't. But here he is now. I get these Samsung photo updates, and it's like 3 years ago. And then it's a Gizmo picture, and it's like, holy cow, it's been 3 years already? That means it's probably been about 4 years since my previous dog died, and that was, those were times. Right, Jill? Let's see, who else? We have Punk, Karma Geek. In Tijuana, we say, ¿Qué onda? Is that right? ¿Qué onda? ¿Qué onda? I learned a lot of Spanish today because I read a comic book that is going to be a part of Mother's Basement right there. Mother's Basement, Mother's Basement, Mother's Basement. Later on tonight, I was looking up all these words for a villainess named Encantandara. Being from Southern California and not knowing Spanish, even like, half-assed is embarrassing, I got to admit. Of course, if I didn't admit it, I wouldn't feel so embarrassed, but I think you'd figure it out eventually. All right, so that's it, Tadon. From a store owner's point of view, just to let everybody know, I will be getting in comic books tomorrow. I have a bunch of boxes locked up in my car and ready to go to the store tomorrow. I already have the Marvel comics out on the shelf. There's a lot of stuff coming out this week, and I know that I'm talking to all customers out there, not just my customers. I know the temptation to go to your previous store when you're out of town is try not getting something that you have pulled for you. That's all I'm saying. I know it's really exciting that Ms. Marvel is coming out tomorrow. I should have done it this way when I did that. I know you're really excited that Ms. Marvel is coming out tomorrow. This miniseries by Samira Ahmed, first timer as far as I know. In fact, I don't know any of these people creating this series, this miniseries. But hopefully it's strong, and we could use a real good Ms. Marvel story. I mean, I don't know. I would. The next time they have a good story, it's the first time they have a good story, as far as I'm concerned. But I've known a lot of my customers really enjoyed her book. I just don't think it was necessarily a Marvel superhero book. She's this this young girl, this young woman in high school. I think you can still say girl. And, she's got powers because in the first part, she's like Inhuman. And Inhumans were trying to take the place of X-Men as far as corporate, Disney was concerned. X-Men was owned by Fox. Well, not movie rights owned by Fox. And, Marvel didn't want to have anything to do with pimping another studio's characters. Of course, they didn't say that's what they were doing. Oh no, we're not making the X-Men the low tier group, because they've only been the best group, the best book for Marvel for like 30 years. No, we're not downplaying them anymore. We're just, just putting out the shit. And then when they finally get, X-Men, it's all of a sudden Hickman's coming back and they're going to do all this really, special stuff. But Ms. Marvel's an Inhuman. So right off the bat, it kind of, she has a strike against her as far as I'm concerned, because, who cares about Inhumans, especially when you're comparing them to the X-Men. And you're purposely trying to hurt an X-Men. It's like when you have this really great, for you wrestling fans out there, I'm sure they do it with writers also, when you're like, or even actors, especially when it was like, in the studio days, you have someone that's like gaining popularity and you can either push them over the other person and then squash somebody, or squash them down so that they don't achieve the star status that, Fragile Ego over here is going to have. Nonetheless, Ms. Marvel, I don't really like it. It's been very boring. She doesn't really have any villains. She doesn't really have any superior stories that are like, oh my God, this is, but I haven't read a lot. I've read Ms. Marvel, but I have not read a lot of Ms. Marvel. Yes, and then they did that Inhumans and movie series. Yeah, the one thing, they had that cool casting. They had that, who is the bastard in Game of Thrones, the series, the guy who played Jill, help me out with that. But yeah, that guy was in it, and I think the special effects looked really poor. And again, the Inhumans, Black Bolt's the leader of the Inhumans, and he can't even talk. That is not, it's not exciting. No, not Gendry. That's the good guy. Gendry, I'm talking about the evil bastard that cut off the penises and stuff like that. Served hot dogs to the victims, that guy was a real piece of shit. I should get some clips of that, put it on the show. Oh yeah, Ramsay Bolton. It's funny how you can't remember something, but you get just one click of it, and all of a sudden it brings it all back, and it's Ramsay. Those were his chapters were very vicious, but easy to read and fun for sure. You really want, when you get a character written like that, and you fall for it, whether it's good or not is really not important. It's the reader. And I think especially in reading, because in a movie or a TV series, you only have so much time spent with these characters. But I feel like in a book, depending on how much is there, that you have a lot of time to spend with that character. And you can really, really want to see them get theirs in a more emotional way than just like in a movie. A lot of it is just, it's probably like 75% is like, just visually, you want to see this person get punched in the face. And then maybe they kick the dog also, yeah, Inhumans was dreadful from what I understand. I only watched the first episode. It was horrible. Ramsay, I think if I remember correctly, Medusa was a quite fetching older actress, but I can't remember who. It just is unimportant. I think a dude with the hoofs, I can't think of his name right now. He looked really stupid. And then you're gonna have Lockjaw. Oh yeah, the Reek stuff. That's what it was. Yeah, Reek. Oh my God. George R.R. Martin can really set a table in a novel, and he sets a lot of tables. Oh no, they cut Medusa's hair. Oh my God, that's like when they depowered Storm, when Forge did that. Oh. We'll have to do the Barry Windsor Smith. I mean, I'm sure many people have done it before. Definitely. I mean, I shouldn't say definitely. More than likely, cartoonist kayfabe has done it. But there's some plans to sit down with some people and talk about books that have come out, and I definitely want to hit a couple more George Perez in a little bit more length. And I have another one that's going to be off the beaten path, but I think ultimately it'll be very, very good. And I'm a big fan of the series, and it came out when I was younger, and it's fantastic. But that's not important. What's important is, did you hear about Punisher, everybody? Punisher, for a couple of years, hasn't really been in publication. I think there was a War of the Realms thing that had the Punisher in it, but he's kind of like at Marvel been persona non grata. They were going to do the Punisher versus Barracuda miniseries, and a lot of people have been looking forward to that. Barracuda is one of those villains he's kind of like blaxploitation, and he's a bad motherfucker. And, just really super cool. And his interaction with Punisher in the Garth Ennis stories were just A grade all the way. And it's getting a miniseries, not written by Garth Ennis, but I forget who it is. Nonetheless, I was looking forward to it. I think Declan Shalvey was doing the art, so that was another plus as far as I'm concerned. But then, of course, all the stuff in the world's been happening. When some stuff in the world was happening, I tried putting up this picture as my thumbnail. I only have this up for a sec. That was, and I had, I actually for once was able to make the words actually look right on the screen, and then YouTube's like, no, you can't use that, it's too sensitive right now. And one of the reasons is because, a lot of the cops, a lot of the ex-army type people that are in those groups that get together that love the Second Amendment, have this on the back of their cars, wearing them in the streets, blah, 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 which prompts Jerry Conway, who created the Punisher, to want to loan out the picture like he can. It's Marvel, to BLM. And I guess this is what has come of it. All right. So we can't use the Punisher. But we found out today that Marvel's actually going to have a 13-issue Punisher series coming out in March. And they have a gimmick for him. And the gimmick is that he's going to be part of the Hand, which is the ninja clan from Japan that always fights Daredevil and have invaded New York a number of times. I hope I'm getting all that lore right. And then ultimately there's this Hand is being controlled by the demon or the devil, or I think it's the demon. And we've seen that character in the Charles Soule stories when Daredevil was a sidekick, had a sidekick that was like an undocumented, I don't remember where he's from. Anyway, he's undocumented. And anyway, so we've seen this devil, this demon. Anyway, the Punisher is going to be involved with the Hand, which is not uncommon because the Hand has they resurrected Elektra, who died, and she worked for them. Wolverine got taken over by them, and he got utilized with his claws and his killing. And it looks like we're going to get a Punisher who's going to drop his guns and pick up some swords. And let me get rid of that. You guys can tell me in comments. Tell me after the show what you think of this. With all of that, coming into play, seeing all those pictures, and now seeing what we see, how do you feel about this? I think if this was like a mask and I was like ranger and this really big burly orc or even bigger like troll was maybe not troll, that's not a D&D troll at least, but this big ass massive person was coming, and they had like enchanted everything, and they were wearing this freaking deadly mask, and they were coming at you. That would be pretty sweet. But it's on his chest, and it kind of like wraps around his breasts, and he doesn't have breasts. Anyway, that's the new look of the Punisher, everybody, and I'd love to know what you think about that. Let's see here. Hey, Fischozo, how's it going? Oh wait, never forget Punisher 2099 for sure, Punk. Yes, he is wearing. It's stupid that Punisher is wearing a devil on his chest. Well, don't forget that the Punisher used to work for the Angels, because I think he died, and then when Marvel Edge came about, which was horrible, they even included Hulk, and it was like how there's Marvel Knights and Marvel Max and these different imprints within the the universe. There was Marvel Edge, and it was like, these are the edgier characters, like your Daredevil and your Punisher and your Hulk. It's like, what the? I think Liam Sharp was doing the Hulk during that time, and we're going to talk about him in just a moment. But Punisher came back to life. He was angelic. I think somebody named Golden did that, but I don't think it was Michael. And I forget who the artist was. Maybe Bernie Wrightson. I forget. Punisher would, of course, try to resist the hand. Why is he working with them? Well, again, if they've got their ways, let's just say that. And he's not Wolverine. And if Wolverine can be taken over by them, maybe the Punisher's a Marine, so maybe he can't. I don't want anybody to... Very good movie. Talk to the hand. Exactly. It looks like a Motorhead t-shirt. Yeah, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, thanks for coming by, Ryan. Good to see you. All right, here we go. Punisher in Mexico used to be called El Maton. Is that how you say it? The Killer. Nice. Yeah, it does look like Loki's skull a little bit. Well, Loki has the horns, really. But that's just a part of the helmet. Let's see here. What's next? Dark Horse sold. All right, check this out. So Dark Horse. It was rumored just after San Diego Comic Convention a couple weeks ago that Dark Horse and a few other companies were out there letting people know that they were for sale. Whoever well, let me get this banner up. So Dark Horse lucked out, made themselves more available. They had just signed a deal to work with Marvel Star Wars, because Star Wars Adventures and High Republic Adventures left IDW and are going to be now done by Dark Horse. And that was prior to San Diego Comic-Con that was announced. And it was like, oh, that's pretty big for them, because, they don't have any licenses. They used to do Alien and Predator, but Marvel owns those now. Marvel's doing an Alien comic that comes out infrequently, COVID, and all that stuff. And but getting that had to have helped, make Dark Horse look viable. Dark Horse has had success of sorts in the past, making movies off their product. Some of that they do own. But the things that most people knew them for was doing the Alien, Predator, and Star Wars comics. So this group that bought them is called the Embracer Group, and it's a company in Switzerland, I think it was. And even the guy that bought them is this guy named, let me see this picture. Here he is. This guy named Lars. His name's like Lars Wingstaff or something like that. Wingefode. anyway, he's like a this geek. At least he portrays himself. He drives around in this like really weird car. It actually would fit very well in Berkeley, unless what is written on it isn't cool. But even still, you can look right across the street from the store, and Berkeley's Berkeley, Berserkly, right, everybody? Anyway, this dude bought Dark Horse, and Mike Richardson, who just had a comic book come out last week from Dark Horse. Oh, look what I can do over here. Also, I can create things. Is still working with it. He's gonna probably ease the transition and all that stuff. But Embracer Group does like video games and all this stuff, I guess, and they buy up companies, I'm assuming, that can help them out. And you can check out Perch's show, Comics by Perch. He's talked a little bit more about it intelligently. But wow, Dark Horse, they have, if you can tell by how I introduced them, they really haven't been anything for a while. But when I was, imagine the 90s, and Comico and all those other companies that I read in the 80s weren't around anymore. And it was probably like 92. Maybe it was 89, something like that. But Dark Horse comes out, and I remember reading Boris the Bear, and I remember reading, and eventually they get Grendel, and all sorts of stuff that came out that I just loved. Dark Horse Presents. It would have Buffy eventually, and Sin City. Sin City's still a part of Dark Horse. And as the years went on, Hellboy and on and on and on and on and on. Dark Horse was a real big deal, and they were definitely a solid number 3 to Marvel and DC. Image overtook them quite a few years ago now, and they've been struggling to maintain, but they still put out really solid work. Most of it's written by Jeff Lemire or Matt Kent. Anytime they deem it worthy to come on over to Dark Horse, I would recommend checking out their stuff. Black Hammer, that's one of my favorite books that's out there, and Jeff Lemire does a great job on that. God, look at it. Flaming Carrot, Dark Horse, right there. Boom. So much good stuff. So hopefully some of that can be revived or acted upon, and at least the Embracer Group can. Dark Horse is really a shadow of what it used to be. It was a shadow of what it was. And it is, they got really heavy into like the IPs, getting other people's product, merchandising and stuff like that. But there's that place in my heart that just wants to see them still stick around and be cool, because they were a comic book company that was willing to do black and white and color comics, and DC and Marvel don't really do that. And even Image, for the most part, I think they do like 1 or 2 black and white comics. And again, it's not really company owned. And there's a difference when it's company owned. It's not that it's better necessarily, but it's something that you can look forward to actually coming out. Like, there's going to be Hellboys coming out. When Saga hasn't been coming out for 3 freaking years, I'm not making any money on new Saga. Sure, I sell the trades that are old, but I can't tell you how many times I've fielded, when's the next issue / trade coming out? There had to have been one coming out. I just haven't read, and I'm ready to go. And it feels like lost money. And we had a real, this is going to the story a little bit more. We had a conundrum. How many sagas do we order? And we sent out a Substack letter instead of doing the normal, MailChimp thing that places will do. And I got a lot of really good feedback. A lot of people telling me they want Saga. They want to be enrolled in the poll list that we do at the store, and it's been very successful. Another thing that was very successful is people really enjoyed the Substack and want us to do more. So look forward to that. Dark Horse, Soul to Embracer Group. Check out another show. They'll talk all about it. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, it's Sweden. Thank you very much. Also, I love Boris the Bear comic. It got a little overdone after a while, 3 issues in. But we had a buddy, his name was Tort, or Curtis, I mean. And we called him Tort. And he was the guy that bought Boris the Bear, no matter what. He was always buying that. We'd go over to each other's houses and we'd have comics. And, I was still in high school and he was like 1 year out. And I only have a certain amount of money and my tastes are a little bit more refined by this time. I'm reading Miracle Man in high school and stuff like that. And, Justice League International, but I'm not probably buying like every single Spider-Man or Superman and stuff like that. Yes, Sin City, great book. Black Hammer Reborn is what I'm buying from them right now. Exactly, that's the one to get. There was the Black Hammer Visionaries or Visions, I think it was called. It's different writers, different artists. Some are good, some are bad. If you get the collection, you'd probably be happier. Hellboy is not over. How dare you? Hellboy is often in Hellboy and BPRD 1940 something year. There's always more Hellboy to plumb. Don't you say that. And there's definitely always something from the world of Hellboy. I think it's just because anybody that works with Mignola, I always say his name wrong. There's a way to say it. Every time one of his books, that golden guy, I think that was the one that wrote that other book I was talking about, him or if it's God, I can't even think right now all the different people that have worked on his books, but like Archeron came out. Mignola actually did the art on that one. There's also that House of Slaughter. Anyway, the House of Lost Laughter. There's a lot of Hellboy type stuff though. So take it easy there, Fistchozo. All right, let me get to that banner off here. All right, and then we're gonna finish up with the news. Comic artists stolen via NFT. These NFTs, man. I mean, so earlier in the week, Kickstarter said that they were going to they were going to expand or look into blockchain, blah, 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 blah. I'm not smart enough to understand it. I'm not smart enough to care about understanding it. It sounds like you're buying something that's the only thing of it, but it really isn't real because it's just a thing of a thing. Whatever. Whatever. I know that the technology is a thing though, and if you gotta do it, you gotta do it. A lot of people say that it's environmentally unsound, and they get all crazy and upset about it. But it also feels like a lot of people that are getting upset about it are the ones that have no chance in hell of making any money out of it. I'm like, well, if I can't make, I should keep that up. If I can't make any money off any NFTs and I find out that, a little bit of that ice shelf is going to melt because of it, I'm pissed. Pissed, I tell you. How dare you? Do you know that my non-existent, never going to be kid is going to suffer as a result of that? It's going to be horrible. I mean, I live in California. We can't handle this rising tide stuff or whatever, right? It's horrible. The person we're talking about is Liam Sharp, and I feel horrible for him because I like his work. It's funny how the more I actually enjoy somebody's work, the more I care about what's going to happen to them. Here he posted on Twitter like a day ago, 2 days ago, Sadly, I'm going to have to completely shut down my entire deviant art gallery, which I assume was quite extensive, as people keep stealing my art and making NFTs. I can't and shouldn't have to report each one and make a case, which is consistently ignored. Sad and frustrating. Yeah, that is sad and frustrating. By the way, when his art book comes out, I think it's called Icon. I got the store copies, and you're not going to have to worry about having paid for shipping or anything like that, and you'll be able to get it at the store. I can't wait for it to come in. I think there was a way to also order this comic book that's coming out through Image, which you would get earlier, I'm assuming. And this one is called Starhench. And this is some pretty cool covers that I thought I'd share with y'all. Let me take this off. And it's going to be 3 covers. So I think these are going to be graphic novels or larger than normal 22-page comic size. Here's another cover. And cover number 3 they showed us. Pretty sweet. Dude likes fantasy stuff and did a really awesome run with Grant Morrison on Green Lantern recently. He did a lot of Hulk. Well, he did a nice little run on Hulk back in the Peter David days. And I really dig his stuff. And I'm looking forward to that art book that we're going to be getting in. And any more work I can get, let me know if this floats your boat. If you're a customer, and if you're not a customer, you should let your store know that this is something that floats your boat, especially since I know there are stores that are out there that won't order things that aren't Marvel and DC normally. Image is a big enough company where they might, but if it's anything else other than that, you should probably let them know. So that's the deal with the art being stolen. As simple as that. It's just NFTs, just like that. Someone getting the art and then selling an NFT of it to someone who probably doesn't know anything about anything. And it's just easy money, I guess. Damn. Someone figure out that. I got this leather nun right here. No, don't get it off the internet. Make sure you get that My Comic Shop imprint off of it when you're doing that. Let me see how this coffee tastes. Hold on a second. Still warm enough. Inker, who was it? It was whoever does. Oh, Sandra Hope, who inks Bachalo a lot. Had a big old thread on Twitter about stealing and pretty much alluding to this. It's rough. She said that that's why it's important anytime you use artwork to credit the artist, and I gotta admit, I just don't know anything. So when I'm putting up pictures like, Punisher logo, at least this one said Marvel. I mean, who owns it, right? That's an argument for another day. Let's talk about some new comics that are coming out tomorrow. This is mostly going to be mainstream. I am going to end with 4 comics you could buy that would help my store. And I'm very excited to talk about these. First up, speaking of NFTs, speaking of blockchain technology, a lot of people that used to like Kickstarter because they weren't horrible people or didn't let horrible people make comic books through them, now are upset with because of this whole NFT blockchain environment bullshit. We have Comixology Originals, or as I like to call it, Amazon. You can get this on the internet for a price, and this is the Scott Snyder comic books that are coming. Scott Snyder, you haven't seen a Noctera recently, or he hasn't done a Batman book for DC or something else. Well, here he is with Francis Manapul Oh my God, I love Francis Manipal. Don't worry. I do believe this will probably be collected. And should it be collected, it will probably be through Dark Horse. But if you're a customer of mine, and I would, if you're a customer at another store and you want this in collected form, I would highly recommend you let the owners know that this is my dude, this is my artist, this is the kind of story I want to read, or else they probably will skip it because anybody that cared enough to buy it probably already did online, right? Oh, let's see. I just got my comics in the mail from Fantastic Comics. Excellent. I hope you like what you got. There's some really fun stuff. Maybe now Barbed Wire will make a comeback. Heck yeah. Get Pam Anderson. What we could do is we'll have Pam Anderson be the older, like let's say Dark Knight Returns, or we need it. It's Barbed Wire Beyond is what we'll call it. And there'll be a younger, more supple Barbed Wire running around, being trained by the older, wiser Barbed Wire. All right, we already saw Ms. Marvel. Next up, we have Moon Knight number 6. I read the first 2 issues and I liked it. We sold out of the third because of a sort of first appearance of a character, and I haven't read any of the issues since. But I have still been selling it very well, and the same artist has been on this for 6 straight issues. Jed MacKay is becoming a writer that I am paying attention and would like to see on certain books. Marvel did announce that he will be doing the new Doctor Strange comic book. Oh, I'm sorry. Clea, the Sorcerer Supreme. So if you're reading Death of Doctor Strange and you've been reading it and you're like, oh my God, Clea's back. Well, there you go. Next up, we have Avengers 51, hot off the 50th, extra long, super long, some say too long, 50th issue. A lot of things were set up for things to go forward in the book. And in this issue, the Phoenix has come to Asgard. Echo has come to Asgard. Next up, also written by Jason Aaron, we have Avengers Forever. The original Avengers Forever was by Kurt Busiek and one of my all-time favorite artists, Carlos Pacheco, where it took Avengers from different timelines so that they, the only Avengers that could really do it, the ones that had these certain problems, like a Hank Pym that beats his wife, and so on and so forth. Maybe it was the Hank Pym that didn't. I forget. Guaranteed this is Scott Lang, because today's Marvel can't ever have Hank Pym ever be put in a good position. You look, Robbie Reyes Ghostwriter's right there. He's not doing anything right now in the regular Avengers book, and so on and so forth. It should be interesting. Looking forward to it because I do still like Jason Aaron, and Aaron Cooter's doing the art. As long as he's on it for the entirety, it should look good. So if you read Avengers, you're going to probably get it anyway. Next up, we have King Conan. Oh my God, this is the week of weeks for Jason Aaron. Him and Mohammed Asrar are going to be telling stories of Conan when he was king. I love King Conan stories. It's always like he's sitting back in his chair and people are coming to him with all these problems, and he's really sick of dealing with, courtesan. Well, no, that's not right. Dealing with the people coming up and asking questions and having to deal with stuff. Yeah, he just wants to be back in his old days, and he's always itching for a fight. So, King Conan, excellent. Looking forward to it. All right, here's comic book number 1. Wait. Yeah, no. Let's not get there first. Pay attention to this one. I ordered extra. A lot of people are talking about it online already. They're showing you pictures. They're showing you the super real neat things that they've done, because in this issue of Nightwing, every page is a continuous panel from the previous one. So if you laid this all out in a row, and I assume you'd have to buy 2 books for the back-to-back pages, it all form, it's basically just Nightwing here, and just going through the whole book. And I think a lot of people are going to be real big on this. And I thought, I should probably get a few extra of these, because people are going to not know, and certain people are just going to be like, oh, that's a cool enough thing to where I'll get that. And Tom Taylor, I know not a lot of people like him, but he's been doing a pretty good job on Nightwing. The masses seem to think so. And he's actually, Tom Taylor for the most part has been doing pretty good. I know a lot of people kind of get on him about some of the things he's done in the past, written wise, and definitely his Son of Kal-El. It feels like it's a shark jumping book is really how I would explain why people really don't like it. If I have to take, and sometimes I feel like this way about DC a lot. It just feels like, every book has to have a moment where the shark's being jumped. And sometimes it's like 2 weeks after somebody already did it. And it's like, come on, slow down. We don't have to race to. It feels like a first-year teacher. I think, this was on Thinking Critical. It's like, you come in and you want to change the world, and you just want to get everything done now. You're the squad, right? You got Nancy Pelosi there just blocking you because you slow down, young whippersnappers. It's not the way we do things here. Not even that ice is gonna disintegrate faster than us making decisions. Nightwing. Really looking forward to reading that, and I hope people really like it. And it's got one of those real sexy Dick Grayson covers too. I'm sure you all dig on that one too. Next up, okay, now here we go. First of the 4. I already spoiled it a little. I don't think I have any problem selling this book out at all. I think I'm not worried at all. What I'm excited about is how good it might be. And this one is written and drawn by the artist Jock. He's very excited that he's doing a Batman story. I personally don't want to read another Batman story, but I just finished one in Batman the Detective, which was wonderful. Tom Taylor also. So I guess I'll be starting a new one. And this is a Black Label book, so it's going to be a little bit more mature, not penis mature anybody. But definitely one that I'm looking forward to. Jock is a fantastic illustrator. I don't think there's any way this is not going to be a hit in the store. I think it's going to be a hit probably everywhere, and probably. I mean, the guy doesn't have to really write a crazy, in-depth, super detailed story to make. He's just seeing him on a book is exciting enough. So hopefully, yeah. Let's go to the comments really quick. Let's see. Moon Knight is one of the few Marvel comics I'm still reading. Excellent. Diablo Hashcraft. Old Man Conan has back problems. Yeah, he does. I do check out Cimmerian from Ablaze. It is a great Conan comic. I just sold. I try and get extra copies so that they sit in the slot when there's not new issues coming out. And I just sold to somebody the Frost Giant's daughter, the 3 issues, and that was awesome. And also in the back of all the Cimmerian stories are the original Robert E. Howard stories broken up over the course of the issues. Gimmick storytelling. What are we talking about? Oh yes, the Nightwing. Yes, for sure it's gimmick all the way. it is good. It is good illustration, Ryan. The artist is pretty darn good. But it is a gimmick all the way. I am a sucker for a gimmick on a cover. If it's something that I dig, there was a really cool X-Men Legends cover that looked like it was supposed to be like not chromium. What was the one with all the sparkles though on it, like a jagged, like a diamond being broken? Well, whatever it was, but it wasn't. It's just a flat. They're horrible covers, but it was done so well that it looks just like that, and I dig that. This, though, at least will have storytelling involved, and if it can be done, what do you say? Maybe like 75% workout, then you'll probably, you forgive the rest of it. Mike Allred did a book called Vertical, which was like, you just flip it up like this, and it was a pain to read. Recently, Declan Shalvey and Jonathan Hickman did an online X-Men comic book that was basically, Wolverine just like going down, and you keep reading it, it's going down, going down. They're going to be doing a book of that. That should be interesting. But yeah, I mean, it's the end of the year. You want to get people in the shop. I think a gimmick's a good way to go. That's not important though for my sales. I think that will be no problem. I think the Batman will be no problem. Maybe I did put I guess the Nightwing was for that. Oh, no, this was the next one. Okay, here we go. Catwoman Lonely City by Cliff Chang, writing and drawing. Another artist writing and drawing an entire series. I like to call this one like Dark Cat Return or something like that. She got out of prison in the first issue and went right back to stealing. There's more to it, I'm sure, but I didn't read all of it. We sold out. So I know people out there enjoyed it a lot, and we got the same number. So this is more just to let people know that it's either coming out or that you can come and get it at the store since you were so happy to get it the first time. All right. Now, these are not necessarily user error problems, although I think they were. I didn't get an FOC done one time, and I had to let the numbers ride. The problem is that Marvel, the numbers that we're writing were partially, it was a Marvel order, and the Marvel order was delayed, and I should have been able to fix it a few months ago, but I couldn't because it hadn't been done until later. And what that is Black Panther number 2. John Ridley did the first issue, is doing the second issue. I can't remember who the artist is. Let me see if I do this. There you go. Juan Cabal. Oh, yeah, it's pretty good looking, too. I like the first issue a lot. It kind of summed up all the Ta-Nehisi Coates stuff I didn't want to read neatly. And it put him right into a situation where operatives that he had out in the world are being killed. It feels very James Bond, that type of stuff. But I think it's exactly what the Black Panther needs. He did get put in his place by his sister a bit, but he isn't really running the company. He isn't really running the country anymore, but he still has those company feelings, They still should be doing what I say. So I have extras of these, and I have extras of the first issue. I did sell out of the first issue, but I need our numbers to stay strong. And if you have a friend that might want this, you might get them a present to shove in their stocking. So Black Panther number 2 comes out, and oh man, this is a gift one, right? This is for that person that likes superhero comics and wants to graduate to something a little bit more mature. Somebody who wants to read something that's mature but still has like a foot in nostalgia. Somebody that is God, I don't see anything more and it spoils it. You might be getting it for yourself, and you don't want to know that it's narrated. And you know how I feel about narration, but it's done so flawlessly. It isn't like a Sunset Boulevard, Jill. So we don't have to worry about someone dead narrating a story. It's not so hokey as that. But the narration is so amazing. And I want to say all about this stuff, about this thing and that and this and that. And if I do, you just don't get the joy and the experience of it. Now, when I showed it to somebody a while ago, they looked at the art and said, "Oh, that's really loose." And I'll agree, it is very loose. But again, this is when you can take you can read a comic that takes liberties. It doesn't always have to be. When you think that Todd McFarlane is the guy that, he's the apex because he did squiggly lines in a freaking web, you're wrong. I'm sorry. You like it. I like it. We all like it. And you know what? Maybe comics never were better than that, but you can't discount this. And I'm talking about Duncan Fegredo and Peter Milligan, who wrote Enigma, which was originally a Vertigo comic book series. And Diamond said that my order was canceled. And I had found out that it was canceled 2 months after it had come out. I noticed somebody on social media say, "Oh, wow, I know it's coming up, but I got it. I had to just get myself a gift." And this was the gift that they got themselves. And I'm like, holy shit, I should have got 6 copies in. 6 copies of I think it's $25, so it's not that much money. But, my small store, I can't be just sitting on 6 books like that. So I looked and it said it was canceled. And I went to my trusty Penguin Random House account and I ordered Enigma and I got it for the store and it's been selling very well. I only have a couple copies left. But in my order, I got those Enigmas that I ordered initially from Diamond. And it probably was on that FOC that I missed. I let the numbers ride. And this is what I get for that. But it's an excellent series, and I don't really have any problem believing that I'm going to sell out of it. Still, it would make a very, very lovely gift for yourself or a loved one. Maybe somebody that poo-poos comics and thinks that it's not a higher art form. This would be the book to show them. Just the illustrations alone. But then when you get into the story and how deep and moving it is, and it's fantastic. And I recommend it for everybody. So there. All right. Let's see what we can do here. We did the Fantastic Comics. For those of you that are watching right now, thank you. For those of you that are watching after and are still watching, thank you. If you could, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up. I hear it helps. If you hit thumbs down, it doesn't really matter because no one else can see it anymore. So you might as well just do thumbs up. You're here, right? And that's it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, if you're watching on Facebook, go on over to YouTube and subscribe to the Fantastic Comics channel. I am still trying to hit the 1,000 mark. I guess I can post notes in the YouTube comment area now that will be seen. But now that I got it without having to earn the 1,000, I feel like I don't care as much anymore. So now it's just to get monetized. So let's make it happen. There you go. It's all there. You can get us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and now on Substack. Definitely follow us on Substack. It doesn't cost anything. I'm switching up to this. This has got to be cold. All right. Let me see if I can't play a video for you while I do this. Oh yeah, you know what came out last week? Do you know what came out last week?
Is he singing English or Russian?
In English. Come on, Berserker. Girls think sexy. I'll watch. Wait, he's gonna sing and watch. It's too funny.
My love for you is like a truck berserker. Would you like some making fuck Berserker?
That's fucking funny, man.
Did he say making fuck?
Yes, he did. And I'm talking about issue 6 of Berserker by Matt Kent. This is at Boom, by the way. Ron Garney and Keanu Reeves. And I was talking to a customer the other day, and they said, I don't think Keanu Reeves can really throw a punch quite like that Berserker guy does. And it made me think. And then one of these issues, Boom does like multiple covers. One of them has this dude looking really super fit and lean, but with muscle, and he had this beard and long hair, and his shit was taped up. If they get around to making this movie too late for Keanu Reeves to really, keep up the part, you don't want to look like Harrison Ford, punching stuff. It just doesn't look right. If you do that, you might want to check out Roman Reigns from the WWE, because the tribal chief would make an awesome Keanu Reeves, or definitely a Berserker. So why did I want to? Oh yeah. So if you're interested at all and you want to see an interview with Matt Kent, or you want to see an interview with Ron Garney, there are 2 of those from Thinking Critical right here. That's on YouTube. He also has Spotify and other stuff like that. So check him out. I'm sure those interviews are up on those also, but I watch them on YouTube. And those guys, he talks about Berserker and all sorts of stuff with them. And I'm also going to be on Thinking Critical this Saturday. It'll be early in the morning for me, and in the evening for Wes at Thinking Critical. We're going to do the Comics Aficionados. It should be a fun episode, probably not too crazy. We'll probably talk about the Punisher and a little bit about Dark Horse and all the other stuff. But yeah, there you go. These are the channels that I dig. I recommend all of them. The reason why I have Fantastic Comics there is for either the Facebook people, or sometimes I run this on my Yule Carter channel, and that kind of stuff. I like our channel so much. It's so wonderful. All right. Let's see. I do that all the time. Nobody ever cares about my hilarious tweet. Ever. I used to get annoyed at the dislikes. Now it doesn't matter. Oh yeah. Well, they would go to the effort to put a dislike. I think the dislike also affects whether or not it comes up for you. So if you enjoy the show, you should put a thumbs up, and then it will get recommended to you. It might also recommend other stuff that I don't recommend, like these things. Yeah, these things might not come up. Other things might. I also like other things, but I know not everybody else does. Like Punisher. Let's see here. Here we go. Carolina Chris 26. Yo, how's it going, man? Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you. I said happy holidays on a show one time, and my buddy Antonio just laughed at me like I'm so soft. Yeah, exactly. Punisher. I mean, nothing was worse than when he was part of that angel thing, I'm going to shoot people so that they, are good or something like that. We like the same channels. Exactly. Yes. Feliz Navidad. Let's get on to it. Okay. Let me play this bit right here for you all.
Here! I'm down here! Down here!
Mr. Sheldon?
That poor guy. He did it for us. He did it. All right, I'm gonna stop my cam for this because this is one thing I gotta do when I do this. I can only let myself loose so much. It's one thing to see me. It's another thing for you to see me and not me see me. It's like real life all of a sudden. We're so in luck. I was going to do a review of this book on one of the shows for Mother's Basement, and I realized that, oh my God, it's a Christmas issue. And I can't do that right now. So I saved it, I scrolled it away, almost lost it, almost found it, didn't read it, almost lost it again. Finally read it. Wow, I love the Joe Kelly run of Action Comics. This was some of my favorite Superman all time for sure. You can see it's 2000, pre 9/11. He also wrote it during that time. Almost all the men of action were working on action or adventures or Superman at one time or another, and a bunch of other really cool artists that unfortunately just don't work in the industry right now, or at least in American comics. So this is written by Joe Kelly with Herman Garcia, I think it is. And at the beginning of every issue, there's there's like a little clip of something that Clark Kent has written. And this is from the 99 Daily Planet, where he says, the holiday season is the one time of year when our true selves should rise to the fore. Unfortunately, when they do, and they're not always pretty. And then here you see him in 2000, and it's just chaos everywhere. Pretty good little start, little fun. Lois Lane's here. They're married, if you didn't know, and they're getting the tree together. And Lois is like telling Soups here that she doesn't want him to buy her a gift, and he's all, why not? She's like, I don't really feel into Christmas right now. It's not really my thing. He's like, what are you telling me? It's your thing. You get misty eyed when you hear Parumpa Bum Pum on Muzak. Last year, you got a paper cut opening your advent calendar, and you bled eggnog and so on and so forth. Fun little stuff. I really enjoyed the conversations that they would have in the comic book. Clark promises not to Soups up when he's getting her a gift, and he's going to go to the mall. And she's all, promise me you'll be careful. He's all, what do I need to be careful for? I'm bulletproof. And then you see him. It's this is Dacey's they're at, not Macy's. And Clark's out shopping. He's getting yelled at. He's trying to tell people, be cool. This is Christmas. We're supposed to be all nicey and everything. And they're like, shut up. Someone's nice to him, which is cool. And then we see Lois, like, she's gonna go, I think, visit Lex Luthor, or she's talking about Lex Luthor when she comes across this like Superman merchandise that's being sold on the side of the road. And then here we have this woman here. Incantandaro, I think is how you say it. She uses pheromones, I guess, to get people to be her thralls. And she encounters Lois Lane, and really she's just talking by her. She's talking about how that's Superman, maybe Papa Noel will leave a Superman for you under the mistletoe. And Lois has to watch that. It's hilarious. Anyway, Soup's going through the crowd. People are yelling about Santa. What's wrong with him? And there we go. The story begins with Etrigan the Demon is now Superman. And this is the thing that I knew I could never write the Demon because I couldn't do the rhyming bit. But Joe Kelly does an excellent job. It's not boring and overwritten, and it's real. It's just nicely done, so that the comic flows, and it feels very Christmassy in its way. He does a really good job. The kids like here is like, I think I'm Jewish. I forgot. I think I got to get out of here. Superman gets in the way. He starts punching Etrigan. He's like, come on. And Etrigan's like, I got to do this or else, some bad stuff's going to go down. I'm trying to like fix things. And, your normal superhero fight happens. Superman gets punched far. And then here she is. And Cantandora is her name. And she's using her pheromones or whatever it is to work with the demon, but it doesn't work out at all. And then here we are in the moon where JLA headquarters is, and Plastic Man's being funny with Kyle. Kyle has look at that, he has chin hair and he looks so disheveled. And Superman got punched to the moon. That's how hard Demon hit him. All right. Superman flies back down, and Encantadora is like a little child. What it seems to be is that the demon, here's Lex Luthor. So he's all small and everything. Also, using her power that was supposed to overtake him, he is turning what he's doing is he's taking out all our bad, how we see ourselves, and he's making us into that. And so, little Lex here is like, he just wants to collect things, and he wants to, everything is like something for him to own. And Cantandora, she sees herself as like, immature, young, like a little girl that always, again, wants what she wants. And Superman's fighting. Whatever. Pretty good art too. I like it. It's Kano and Herman Garcia. I think Kano did some of the last pages. Superman sucks up all that stuff, and he sees himself as like a lumberjack country farm superhero with a spit curl. And he takes all these seeds that he sprinkles around the city. And everybody like turns back to how they were. And it's like a Christmas miracle, everybody. And he blows the rest away out in space, which reminds me, there was I think it was Joe Casey. So not Joe Kelly. Joe Casey was writing Mr. Majestic, maybe around this time also. And there was an issue, and I think Eric Canetti was doing the artwork. Oh, damn, if I ever see Eric Canetti, I have to talk to him about it. I think he was doing the artwork. There was this like canister, like this, like, poisonous gas, whatever it may be, that was going to like, affect the world, maybe just the city. And Mr. Majestic sucked it all up, and he took it out into space, and he finally exhaled it. And he just started tripping balls. That was the first time I really paid attention to the Men of Action. And there's definitely some stuff in the Kelly run that's like, if they got upset with dude for the Mighty Mouse stuff, they would have like flipped over the Superman stuff that happened. Etrigan is like, his whole thing was though that he was trying to get out from under the thumb of Jason Blood, and he's going to go back to hell. Jason's going to take his place, blah blah blah. But Superman's like, don't be a dick, basically. And Cantadora and him, they share a nice little moment here. She's cold. Superman puts his cape around her. She takes off. He thought she was powerless, but she kind of like, she one-upped him there. And she was trying to get, in the beginning, she was trying to get something for her nephew. So when we see her, when she gets back to her apartment, she gives her, or her little brother, the cape, and he's really happy. And Superman knows that she's going to be in his life again later on. So there you go. That's the Christmas issue of Action Comics. Hooray. All right, let me see. Now that I put you all to bed with that one. Oh, yeah, and then Encantadora says, Feliz Navidad. Righty. Let me put this up. All right, let's do this. So, do you enjoy hearing me talk? Do you enjoy maybe witty tweets or maybe comic books that I might place up on Instagram? Maybe a gizmo picture or two? Then you can follow me. Well, I guess. Oh, yeah. You can follow me on Twitter at Big Blue Yule, Instagram at Filthy Burger, or follow me at the Sci-Fi and Fantasy Read Along Show, which is on Spotify and other podcast related things. It's also on YouTube. Right now, we are talking about the Three Stigmata of Palmer Eldritch, which is a Philip K. Dick book. For those of you that don't know, but probably do know, Philip K. Dick was the person who wrote the story that Blade Runner was based on. And Keanu Reeves is a super big fan. So if you're a Berserker fan, you might dig it. And God, what was Scanner Darkly? Scanner Darkly is the Keanu Reeves one that they did. I think they rotoscoped that one. It was interesting, but I hadn't seen that one. Yes, more Gizmo. I agree. If you are still around and you thought that was a cool little Christmas story, hold on a second. All right, this end of the show is being brought to you by my Patreon members. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month. It doesn't get you anything, but it definitely, well, other than put up here. But eventually something's going to happen. I don't know how often, or how great, but we're working on it. And we really are working on it. We're trying to figure stuff out, and hopefully next year we'll get the ball rolling really good. Thank you, patrons. We are going to go back to...
Here! I'm down here! Down here!
Mr. Sheldon?
Joe Corallo, thank you very much for stopping by and saying hi. And do androids dream of electric sheep? That's that Blade Runner thing, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, Man in the High Castle also, which I think is on Amazon. Let's chill for a different company. I guess it's still Amazon because of Comixology. It's probably we're going to need to get this. Because heaven forbid Marvel actually keeps something in print. Another Christmas issue. Amazing Spider-Man 166. I'm going to let you know right now, this is not a very good issue. It is part 2. Stegron, I guess, kidnapped the son of the lizard. I think his name's Billy. Poor Billy. Kidnapped the son of the lizard so that the lizard would make a machine. Well, we'll find out. Len Wein is the writer and the editor. Ross Andrew is the illustrator, along with Mike Esposito. On and on and on. The greatest thing about these comics is that if you did not read the previous issue, it will let you know what happened. Usually in Thought Bubble. Spider-Man is searching for Stegron. One of the common things I liked about Marvel Comics especially is that they would mention other groups, like, here Spider-Man saying, why aren't the Avengers ever home when you need them? And it just, obviously everybody's in New York, superhero wise for the most part, but it really sets Spider-Man in the universe where other people are. He obviously got, the lion's share of like time in my youth when I was reading comics, as Spider-Man Marvel team up, and all his back issues were collected in Marvel Tales. and then Spider-Man, and then Spectacular, and he was really one of the first guys to get all the different books. So even still, I like when Marvel especially places their characters in the universe together. Maybe kind of what goes on sometimes doesn't always match up. Even today, it usually does, but like the Avengers, it kind of like skates around all the things that are happening. They have like really big parts, and if there's a new Phoenix, of course, the Phoenix was introduced in Avengers, but if she was created somewhere else, and then they started using her afterwards, it would be like that full effect. I don't know what I'm really getting at. Overall, basically, some books are like really tight in the continuity, and then some are loosely around that time. Kind of where you have those editor's notes to say this issue started before 250 of, or it would be a much smaller number these days. This happened in issue 2, volume 52. Spidey's swinging over to Kurt Connor's apartment, where his wife and kid were supposed to be. The lizard jumps out. Spidey tries to chase him down, but can't. The lizard gets loose. Once he's in the sewer, you can't find a lizard. So Spider-Man goes up to the apartment. The lizard's wife is so sad. The tree got knocked down. Her kid was absconded with, and I think what's worse is that they have nothing to put in this tree, and it's just going to die in a matter of days, right? I mean, that's a fire hazard if you ever get around to putting anything on it. Anyhow, she recounts everything. So again, you finally get the entirety of the last issue in this, half a page, and then Spidey promises to get the kid back, and I'll go get your husband too while I'm at it. Thing I like about Spider-Man comics is you always get a little bit of the other characters too, just enough to either move the story along or to tell you what a dick Peter is. J. Jonah hasn't married, what's her name? Oh, Marla. Yet, but she is really controlling, telling him to put his cigar out, and then unveiling the new Spider Slayer. And, Jonah really has got a heart on that. And then at the apartment, Peter has to call and say he's not going to be there for their little Christmas party. And Harry says that him and Liz are going to get married, and she accepted. And Glory's like, well, far out. Way to go, Lynn. This is what Stegron kidnapped Billy for. And let me tell you, this kid really talks back. I mean, I'm surprised that Stegron just didn't take out his aim. His lizard brain wasn't working overtime, because I think he would have killed that kid just talking back the way he was. Stegron, the machine, he stole, I guess, like the skeletons of these dinosaurs, and I guess he kept them all in one piece. Nothing kind of crazy. But this ray is going to bring them back to life, so it's kind of like reanimating them. And the lizard shows up, and there's a big old fight. Lizard says, I'm the king of the reptiles, master of the reptiles. Stegron's law, I was a fool to think I could ever work beside you. he had just introduced it the panel before. He's I was a fool. He got over that quick. Finally, the dinosaurs transform. Billy's in trouble. He gets grabbed by the lizard. He gets kicked. And then Spider-Man's like outside, and he sees the dinosaurs, and he webs them up for a second, saves the family, and then gets in where he starts walloping on the lizards. And oh yeah, this is great. Right here on the bottom left, Spidey with his web shooter. he shoots the lizard in the mouth, and the lizard's like, I'm poisoned. I'm so weak. But it had an antidote in it so that he could turn back to Connors. And I guess Spidey's spider sense wasn't working at that moment because he got attacked by the Stegron, who takes Billy and runs off. Spidey, oh, this is a good part right here up on the upper right. Spidey's like, stay out of harm's way while I go fetch your son. And Doc Connors, who's one-armed, is the reason why he created the lizard stuff in the first place is because, you cut off a lizard's like tail, it will grow back. He wanted to grow an arm because he only has one arm. And so what does Connors think to himself? He says, oh, I'll stay here all right, Wallcrawler, but I won't just twiddle my thumbs. I think they needed a sensitivity reader on that one because only a person with one arm would be able to tell Len Wein that, like, come on, dude, that's not cool. But it was the 70s. What are you gonna do? Spider-Man attacks Stegron. The cops are like, what should we do? And the other guy's like, not a thing, Wilson. Not a thing. Spider-Man knocks off Stegron, rescues the kid. They're all gonna die here. These poor cops got kicked by the Tyrannosaurus tail, and just as they're gonna die, the skeletons come back and crash to the earth because instead of twiddling his thumbs, Doc Connors reversed the gun and allowing Spidey to go run off after Stegron, but he can't see him. But Stegron decides, with my last bit of energy, I'm going to throw this rock and maybe Spider-Man will, not see me. But he slips and falls into the water. And I'm assuming he dies, but who knows? Maybe he gets reanimated later. I don't remember seeing a Stegron story recently, but maybe like in Spider-Man and the X-Men it happened or something like that. I bet if Joe was here still, he knows. Epilogue. Spidey's going to leave a present for the Connors, but they're having such a good time, he webs it outside. I'm assuming that's only going to last an hour. So I'm assuming Bum's going to find it on the street eventually. But Spider-Man's all right. He's like, Merry Christmas, New York. And he swings away. It wasn't the worst issue, but it really wasn't that great. I mean, Stegron's kind of like a lame villain. So there you go. That's it. That's the show, everybody. Let me see here. Oh, no, it's not the show. This is... It's right here. All right, one last one. Damn, I should have done this way earlier. All right, next episode, we're going to do best of. And I want you guys to come with something here for this. Okay, I'm going to run them down. I'm a little iffy about splitting up independent and mainstream, but I say mainstream and then I say alt because it's just not mainstream, but almost everything's mainstream these days. What I would have considered independent at one time, like Fantagraphics is kind of independent, but not really. I mean, they do books that are expensive and all this stuff, but all the other small companies that are out there do things of quality, not unlike, any of the other manufacturer of comics. They almost all cost the same. So it's not like anything different there because Marvel and DC have no shame. Here I'm going, though. Favorite cover artist is definitely a category that I have in mind. I have a few in mind right now as far as people, but I'll probably just tell who the winners are as far as I'm concerned. Maybe we'll just talk about it on the show. Favorite writer, and then I said alt writer. Favorite artist, and then I said alt writer. So, like, of people that are working in the industry right now, when I say like my favorite, somebody I'll always read, Carlos Pacheco in Superheroes. He's going to be doing He's going to be doing, is it Mark Waid? Somebody like that is writing, maybe it's Kurt Busiek. Somebody is writing an event storyline, and Pacheco, hopefully, is doing the entirety of it. He's wonderful. And Duncan Fegredo is that person in the alt or the indie or the not mainstream superhero. He's the guy I like all the time. So if he's doing something, I'm interested. I might say like a Richard Corbin. He doesn't do mainstream mostly. Of course, he doesn't do anything now. But, these are like the guys. So favorite artist. Should there be a category for writers who are artists also? So, you've got your Joe Corrales and the writer. And then you have, I don't know who for art, Bengal for art. And then now we have Jock writing and penciling a Batman comic book. Should that be separated also? Or should they stand on their own merits? A lot of times when I think about my favorite creators, twice, it's like Frank Miller or John Byrne. Maybe my favorite John Byrne was something that Chris Claremont wrote. But when I'm thinking of I got to put somebody on a lofty cloud, really high up. I think, like a John Byrne kind of sits a little higher than a Chris Claremont. Peter David, if I'm thinking of like Hulk writers or Hulk creators, he might be really high. But, is he any better than Kari Andrews in writing? Yeah, he is. But, Kari's got the art also. So that's something I'm thinking about. There's definitely talent deserving recognition. I think that would be a fun little category. Favorite title, again, are we talking like superhero and then an alternative to superhero? So that might be two things. And then favorite overall book. And then famous or our favorite Fantastic Comics guest. That'll be a fun one. And then so that's it. I used to give out this one called the Yuli Awards, which is something I never actually gave to anybody, but it was just something I talked about in the store, not my store. So it was just some jerk employee talking at his owner's store what his Yuli Award would be. And it was always, that one thing, whether it be the book or the artist or the writer, it was just like, what is the one thing that's really awesome? So I'll be looking forward to doing that also. Let's see. Let's see here. Wait. Right before that. That's why I liked West Coast Avengers. Felt like the action was closer to Tijuana. That's right. Some girls' continuity are bigger than other girls' continuity. That's right. In zoology, but the Colt should have it did. That's why he was like, I don't have that much strength left. I can only throw this rock. And then he succumbed to the elements and then sunk in the water. So that's the year-end prelims. I know we ran through that, but I'm tired. And I got more to do. And I've got comics to put out tomorrow. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It's awesome that we've had as many people. Don't forget to hit thumbs up on the way out. And don't forget that next week we're going to be on for our 100th episode. I hope to do something special other than just talk about my favorite comics of the year. But if in any case, come with your ideas of what you think your favorite things were. You can say anything. I don't care who put it out. I don't care if it's manga. It's fine. If that's what you like, that's what you like. Just let me know. And we'll see you next week. Thank you very much, everybody. And bye.